and girls. Today we are going to be talking about the art form printmaking. So our first word is printmaking, which is the art or technique of creating prints. And when we say creating prints, that basically just means that we're creating a copy of your original artwork. So if you see below, I created one of these cardboard Collagraph prints, which we'll talk about what Collagraph means. And from that, I created all these different prints. So our second word is collagraph. Collagraph is a print made from a collage of assorted materials such as cardboards, strings, papers, etc. So in summary, a collagraph is made by building up materials on a printing board or plate, and so it's creating a relief. So today we are going to need a pencil, scissors, glue, crayons without the paper. You're going to need just some regular white paper. If you don't have white paper, notebook paper is fine. And then you're also going to need some kind of box. So it needs to be like a snack box, a cereal box, something that has this thin cardboard. So what I have here is saltine cracker box. I made this one with our Girl Scout cookie box. So whatever box you have in your kitchen. All right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is take your box, and we are going to work on taking it apart. So you should be able to find where it's folded and start peeling it apart. So try and be careful not to rip the edges. All right, perfect. So now that I've got this box unfolded, I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting along the seams. All right, so now that I have the cardboard cut up, you wanna find your biggest piece, and this is gonna be our background for what we're gonna be adding to it. Now, because today we are focusing on self-portraits, which means it is a picture of ourself, this is a little long, so I'm actually gonna take this and I'm gonna cut it to where it's a little more of a normal size rectangle. Okay, perfect. So from here, this is gonna be our background, and we're gonna work on building up our self-portrait. So to start, you're gonna want to take another piece of cardboard and draw your face shape. So that would be an oval shape. All right, so I'm gonna cut this out and then glue it on my plate. All right, perfect. Now that I have my basic face shape on there, I'm gonna start adding features like the eyes, nose, and mouth. And now, boys and girls, remember, a little bit of glue goes a long way. So all you need to do is add little dots on the back, and that's gonna be enough. And then press it down for at least 5 seconds to make sure that it gets stuck to the background pretty well. So next I'm going to draw my eyes, and eyes generally are like an ellipse shape or a football looking shape. So I'm gonna draw my 2 eyes. I'm gonna cut them out and glue them. And looking at this one that I've already done, you can see that I've built up the eyes. I did the background shape, and then I did another circle for the iris, and then a smaller circle for the pupil. If you look at yourself in a mirror, you can see all those parts of your eye. So as you can see, I have the layer of my face, the background of my eye, the iris, and the pupil. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. 4 layers high is about as high that you want to go. If you build it up really high, whenever you go to do your rubbing to get your print, you're not going to see some of the things that are lower. So this is about the highest point that you want. And so from here, we're going to take time. We're going to do our nose, our mouth. You can add some extras. I added my neck, I added a necklace and my hair. And again, remember, this is a self-portrait of you. So if you are a boy and you have really short hair, you're going to want to cut some strips of paper, but you're going to want them to be shorter like this so that you can then glue them on top of your head. Okay. So again, you're not copying mine. You're looking at your features in a mirror and creating a self-portrait of you. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to add the rest of my features, and then we will go from there. Boys and girls. So I decided to make this one a boy so you could see some of the different things that you can add to make your self-portrait look like you. So notice that the hair, I used small little rectangles on the top of the forehead. I added some ears, and I also added the neck and the shirt. And to get some more interest when you do your print, you might want to draw a thin little rectangle to glue on top of your mouth so that you get some more interest whenever we do the print. So from here, I'm going to let the glue dry, and then we'll come back and do our prints. All right, so at this point, you're going to need your 2 printing plates that you've created out of cardboard and about 2 pieces of paper. You can use more than that, but we're going to need at least 2. And then make sure that you have your crayons without the paper. All right, so to get started, look at your printing plate and place it on your paper and see about how many times you can add it. So mine turned out pretty small based on the boxes that I had. If you, for example, were using a cereal box, that would probably take up your whole sheet of paper. So just look at it and see how many times you could print it. Maybe you can only fit 2. So for our first one, we are going to place it under our piece of paper. And since I've decided I can fit it 4 times, I'm going to pick 4 different colors. And so for my first one, I'm going to use blue. So I'm going to take my crayon, it's going to be flat on the side, and I'm going to start pushing it on top of my printing plate. And you'll start to see the textures that you've created by building up that cardboard. And you're going to want to make sure that you push it both directions. So I just pushed it up and down, and now I'm pushing it side to side. And see, now I started to see the eyes a little more. Awesome. So that created my first print, and then I'm going to slide it down, and I'm going to pick another color. So I think for this one, I want to use purple. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go up and down, and then I'm going to go side to side. And how cool is that? You created one printing plate, and you're getting to create lots of different artworks out of it. Awesome. That looks so cool. So I think since I did cool colors on this side, over here I will use some orange and red. So I'm going to do my next 2. is that? Okay, so that's gonna be your first print, is doing it multiple times on your sheet of paper, depending how big your plate is. And then the second one I want you to do, and I'm gonna use this boy that I just created. We are going to do what's called a rainbow print. So we are going to take all the colors, and I'm gonna press down with my red first. And then I'm gonna take my orange and I'm gonna go the opposite way. So by the time we're done, we will have all the colors on this print. And it's important that we hold it in place. As you can see, it kind of shifted a bit, like my nose is in a couple different places. I actually like how that looks, but if you don't, you want to make sure that you're holding the bottom plates in place pretty well. All right, so from there, you all have made your Collagraph printing plate, and now you are free to try doing these prints in lots of different ways. And I can't wait to see what you all create.